Hello, Laoshi Lawrence McElroy here with the third and final in our three-part series addressing the 13 root energies of Tai Chi Chuan. So thus far, we've talked about ward off, roll back, press, push, pluck, split, shoulder stroke, elbow stroke. Actually, those two are usually elbow stroke, shoulder stroke. So there are 8. That leaves us with 5. The last 5, the 5 elements, refer to stance, footwork, movement, and conflict strategy. So I'm going to get up. Just as we talked about with the first 8, the last 5 are also occurring everywhere in the body at the same time. The 5 directions are forward, backward, beware to the left, look to the right, and center equilibrium. We actually use beware to the left, look to the right for the name of one of our foundational floor exercises at Water Tiger School. When we do a Tai Chi based short-term class, in a walking exercise, we refer to sideways walking that then becomes wave hands like clouds as beware to the left, look to the right, since we're going sideways. So anyway, little Water Tiger School trivia for you there. They are called 5 elements. So the elements the element for forward is metal. The element for backward is wood. The element for beware to the left is water. The element for look to the right is fire, and center equilibrium is earth. And again, all those 5 are there all the time. Remember, in Chen Ting Feng's 10 practice points, one of his 10 is something up, something down, something left, something right, something forward, something backward. Now, you could break those down and say, oh, we're moving forward and they're moving backward, and that would be fine. But again, they happen all the time. We talk about that at Water Tiger School when we do advance and retreat from the 9 temple exercises. Our version of advance and retreat looks like this. We have our width. We settle the weight into one leg. We turn and look at that direction without pulling the hips. We do retreat first, pressing the weight from the left foot down into the right, turn without any weight shift, and back. Now, of course, you have to be careful of your knees as you're doing this. But what we talk about is when we're doing retreat, find the advance in retreat. And you can feel as you're moving that direction, retreating, that the leg that's losing the weight isn't coming with you. It's moving in the opposite direction. It's moving forward as you move backward. And the same can be said when you advance. Pressing down in the left foot to fill the right foot, I am moving forward as that leg is moving backward. So there's retreat in advance. And we can find that in the form positions as well. And it's very important in all of our stances to have that bi-directional movement. That if something's going forward, something's going back. If something's going left, something's going right. And again, all at the same time. If we consider our movement in Tai Chi more instead of parts moving in different directions, consider that we're moving as a whole. Everything is moving together, and it's as if a balloon is expanding or compressing. So all of the parts are moving in various directions at the same time. If we are in our 4 stance, back foot's at a 45, front foot is forward. I'm going to start this forward. I almost started it sideways, but I want to turn sideways here in a moment. I'm turning. When we're talking about split and pluck, the left hip is moving back, the right hip is moving forward. As I'm filling the front leg, we call it 4 stance, or 4 stance walking or Tai Chi walking and moving forward. Now, when we normally walk, everything does more or less move forward. We're falling, we're catching ourselves, and we're taking another step. But as we're moving in our Tai Chi, again, the weight is going into the front leg, but there's a great expansion down and into the back leg. Our back heel should actually feel as if it is being drilled down into the earth. So as I move the weight forward, there's a stabilizing going on in this leg. That's the leg's energy, which is more yin. There's an expansion driving down and back, making that connection to the earth. That's more yang when it comes to the energy, where the weight is yang in the front leg and the energy is, and the weight is yin in the back leg. So something forward, something back, something left as something's going right. Something is pressing up, there's your stabilizing energy. As something is pressing down, there's your connection to the earth. Center equilibrium is the center of whatever the movement is, wherever that expansion is. If I'm moving into a palm strike, there's a pivot point in all of the joints where the movement is based and is expanding in the different directions. For the whole body, it's the Xia Dan Tian, the lower field of elixir, inside the body cavity and the lower abdominal cavity. That's the center equilibrium. But you also have the axis of the spine hanging like a string of pearls that you're turning horizontally on. There are all sorts of different points of center equilibrium within the body, within the movement, because we're moving in all directions at the same time. There's always an expansion, a compression, a folding, or an unfolding as you're moving through your Tai Chi. And when it comes to conflict strategy, again, you give somebody space. We can go back to advance and retreat for that. Somebody's coming toward me, I'm giving them space. I'm letting their expansion, their energy dissipate, become yin from yang, so then I can become yang. In a nutshell, those are the 5 directions, the 5 elements. Again, forward, backward, beware the left, look to the right. Metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. Sorry, I wanted to say central equilibrium, which is the direction, but the element is earth. And that makes up the 13 root energies of Tai Chi. So, ward off, roll back, press, push, pluck, split, elbow stroke, shoulder stroke, forward, backward, beware the left, look to the right, and center equilibrium. Not sure what's going to be next up. Probably be a couple of days before we post something new here. Remember, we still do have our Facebook Live sessions on Mondays at 8 a.m. To help support our friends from Sachem Public Library, which is currently closed and suspended, of course, then all programs. And Tuesday morning at 10:15 a.m., all Eastern Daylight Time, for our folks from West Babylon. And of course, since it's Facebook Live, it's open to the public, and we're here for the greater community as well in this time that we are all alone together. So keep washing your hands, keep not touching your face, and please, let's all stay home. Experts tell us otherwise. So take care, be well, and we'll see you sometime in the future.